now we're going to take a look at the transformations of equations of functions that have already been transformed. So for instance, if I look at this function here, f of x equals 3 times x minus 1 squared plus 2, notice that the parent function of this is x squared, right? So we already have 3 transformations on the parent function. We see that it's been stretched by a factor of 3, it's been shifted right 1, and it's been shifted vertically up 2. What we want to ask ourselves now is, what if instead I'm given this function and I want to do a transformation on it? So for instance, we want to be able to write the equations for the following transformations of f of x. So the first one, we want to write the equation for g of x, which is equal to f of x plus 2. Well, what I can do here is it's kind of like a substitution. I know my f of x is equal to 3 times x minus 1 squared plus 2, so I can kind of substitute this in for where the f of x is. So for instance, I'll get g of x is equal to 3 times x minus 1 squared plus 2, and then I want to add, that's everything that f of x is, and then I want to add 2 to that. Right? So notice all I've done is I've taken what f of x is, I've plugged it in for what f of x is, and then I need to add 2 on the outside. Really, this outer parentheses was just to show you that everything in here is what f of x is. It's really not needed in solving the problem. So now this is really just g of x equals 3 times x minus 1 squared plus 2, and then I just have to add 2 to that. Well, if I go ahead and do that, I'm going to get g of x equals 3 times x minus 1 squared plus 4. So this would be the transformation of f of x up 2.